My friends, today I invite you to embark on a profound journey of self-discovery, one that will unveil the true power of non-reaction. In this fast-paced world, where the noise of daily life often drowns out our inner wisdom, it is crucial that we learn to master the art of non-reaction. For it is through the power of non-reaction that we can unlock the true depth of our being and tap into the infinite well of inner peace and clarity that resides within us all. You see, our habitual patterns of reaction, our knee-jerk responses to the events and circumstances that arise in our lives, are often rooted in deep-seated fears, insecurities, and conditioning. We react out of a desire to control, to protect ourselves, to assert our own sense of identity and importance. But in doing so, we often find ourselves caught in a never-ending cycle of reactivity, one that robs us of our true power and leaves us feeling frustrated, overwhelmed, and disconnected from our authentic selves. But what if I were to tell you that there is another way? What if I were to reveal to you the profound and transformative power of non-reaction? For when we learn to let go of our need to react, when we cultivate the ability to simply observe and witness the ebb and flow of life without getting caught up in it, we open ourselves up to a realm of infinite possibility. In this space of non-reaction, we find the freedom to respond to life's challenges and opportunities with clarity, compassion, and wisdom. We are no longer driven by the impulses of the ego, but by the deeper wisdom of our soul. We are able to see the bigger picture, to understand the interconnectedness of all things, and to find creative and innovative solutions to the problems that arise. And it is not just in our personal lives that the power of non-reaction can be felt. When we learn to embody this profound practice, we find that it ripples outward, transforming our relationships, our work, and our engagement with the world around us. For when we are able to remain calm and centered in the face of adversity, when we can respond with equanimity and grace, we become a beacon of inspiration and transformation for those around us. Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lessons. But make no mistake, the path of non-reaction is not an easy one. It requires a deep and unwavering commitment to self-awareness, to the cultivation of mindfulness and presence. It requires that we be willing to step out of the comfort of our habitual patterns, to confront the fears and insecurities that have long held us back. And it requires that we be willing to surrender our need for control, to trust in the unfolding of life's mystery, and to embrace the unknown with courage and grace. Yet the rewards of this journey are truly immeasurable, for when we learn to embody the power of non-reaction, we unlock the door to a level of inner peace, clarity, and fulfillment that transcends the limitations of the ego. We become like a vast, unmoving ocean, able to weather the storms of life with a sense of grace and equanimity that inspires and uplifts all who come into our sphere of influence. So I invite you to take a deep breath, to let go of the need to react, and to open yourself up to the transformative power of non-reaction. For in this space of stillness and presence, we find the true essence of our being and the keys to unlocking our fullest potential as human beings. Transcending the tyranny of reaction. A path to authentic empowerment. In our previous exploration, we delved into the profound power of non-reaction, that transformative practice which invites us to step out of the tyranny of our habitual patterns and embrace a deeper, more expansive way of being. But as we continue on this journey, it is important to understand that non-reaction is not merely a passive or detached state of being. Rather, it is a dynamic and empowering practice that allows us to tap into the very core of our authentic selves. You see, When we are caught in the grip of reactivity, we find ourselves constantly at the mercy of external circumstances and the whims of others. Our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors become dictated by the ever-changing landscape of our lives, leaving us feeling powerless and lacking in true agency. We become like leaves tossed about by the winds of change, never quite able to find our footing or maintain a steady course. But in the stillness and presence of non-reaction, we discover a wellspring of inner strength and resilience that has been there all along. By cultivating the ability to witness our thoughts and emotions without getting caught up in them, we create the necessary space for conscious, intentional responses to arise. We are no longer slaves to our impulses, but rather masters of our own destiny, able to choose how we engage with the world around us. This is the true essence of authentic empowerment, the recognition that we are not merely the passive recipients of life's circumstances, but rather the active architects of our own experience. It is the understanding that, in the face of any challenge or adversity, we have the power to choose how we respond, to draw upon our inner resources and wisdom to navigate the complexities of our lives with grace and clarity. And this empowerment is not limited to our individual lives. When we embody the practice of non-reaction, we find that it ripples outward, transforming the very fabric of our relationships and our engagement with the world around us. For in a world that so often values reactivity and impulsiveness, the calm, centered presence of one who has mastered the art of non-reaction can be a true beacon of inspiration and change. Imagine for a moment how the dynamics of your closest relationships might shift if you were to approach them with a deep sense of non-reactivity. Instead of lashing out in the heat of the moment or becoming embroiled in endless cycles of emotional reactivity, you would be able to hold space for open and honest communication, to listen deeply and respond from a place of compassion and understanding. And in the realm of our work and our engagement with the broader world, the power of non-reaction becomes even more profound. In a world that so often rewards those who are quick to react, to seize opportunities and assert their dominance, the ability to remain grounded, to think clearly and strategically, can be a true competitive advantage. It allows us to navigate complex situations with wisdom and discernment, to find innovative solutions to seemingly intractable problems, and to inspire those around us to rise to their highest potential. But make no mistake, the path to this level of authentic empowerment is not an easy one. It requires a deep and unwavering commitment to self-inquiry, to the constant work of peeling back the layers of our conditioning and confronting the fears and limiting beliefs that have long held us back. It requires a willingness to let go of our attachment to outcomes, to trust in the unfolding of life's mystery, and to embrace the uncertainty and vulnerability that comes with true transformation. Yet the rewards of this journey are truly profound, for in cultivating the power of non-reaction, we unlock the door to a level of inner peace, clarity, and fulfillment that transcends the boundaries of the ego. We become like majestic mountains, unshaken by the storms that rage around us, able to weather the vicissitudes of life with a sense of grace and equanimity that inspires and uplifts all who come into our orbit. So I invite you, with every fiber of my being, to embark on this transformative journey, to embrace the power of non-reaction, not as a passive or detached state, but as a dynamic and empowering practice that will unlock the fullest expression of your authentic self. For in doing so, you will not only transform your own life, but you will become a beacon of change in a world that so desperately needs it. Transcending the veil of illusion, unveiling the luminous essence of being. As we journey deeper into the realms of authentic empowerment, it is essential that we confront the most fundamental illusion that has long kept us shackled to the limited, egoic perceptions of reality. This illusion, rooted in the belief that we are separate, isolated individuals adrift in a cold and indifferent universe, is the very foundation upon which our patterns of reactivity, fear, and suffering have been built. But what if I were to tell you that this perception of separation is nothing more than a mirage, a veil of our own making that obscures the profound interconnectedness and unity that lies at the heart of all existence? That the very sense of self that we have clung to so desperately is but a fleeting, constructed identity, a collection of thoughts, beliefs, and conditioning that have been layered upon our true luminous nature. This is the realization that lies at the core of the deepest spiritual traditions, the recognition that we are not isolated, autonomous beings, but rather expressions of a vast, interconnected web of life, inextricably woven into the fabric of the universe itself. It is the understanding that the boundaries we have drawn between ourselves and the other are nothing more than an illusion, a conceptual overlay that has served to imprison us within the confines of our own limited perspectives. When we truly internalize this truth, the implications are nothing short of revolutionary, for it means that the very foundations of our reactivity and suffering, the belief that we are separate, vulnerable, and at the mercy of external forces, are built upon a fundamental misunderstanding of the nature of reality. It means that the inner peace, clarity, and empowerment we have been seeking lie not in the acquisition of more possessions, the attainment of greater status or achievements, but rather in the direct realization of our own inherent wholeness and interconnectedness. Imagine for a moment how your life would be transformed if you were to truly embody this understanding, if you were to move through the world with the profound awareness that you are not a solitary, isolated being, but rather a dynamic, ever-evolving expression of the universal life force that animates all of creation. How would your relationships, your work, your very engagement with the world around you shift if you were to approach each moment with the recognition that you are inextricably linked to all that is? This is the true power of transcending the veil of illusion, the ability to shift our perception from one of separation and scarcity to one of boundless interconnectedness and abundance. It is the realization that the very struggles, fears, and limitations that have long weighed us down are not the intrinsic nature of reality, but rather the products of our own limited, conditioned minds. And in that recognition lies the key to unlocking the fullest expression of our authentic selves. For when we let go of the belief in our separation, we open the door to a profound and liberating experience of our true nature, a nature that is not defined by the transient, ever-changing content of our thoughts and emotions, but rather by the timeless, luminous essence of pure awareness that lies at the core of our being. We become like vast, boundless oceans, capable of holding the gentle rhythms of the waves as well as the most tumultuous of storms, without ever being truly shaken or disturbed. And as we embody this realization, we find that our relationships, our work, and our engagement with the world around us are transformed in profound and unexpected ways. Freed from the shackles of our limited, egoic perspectives, we are able to approach each moment with a deep sense of compassion, curiosity, and reverence, seeing the world not as a collection of separate, isolated objects, but as a vast, interconnected tapestry of life, pulsing with the same vital energy that courses through our own veins. In this state of expansive, non-dual awareness, we become like beacons of light, radiating a transformative presence that has the power to inspire and uplift all who come into our orbit. For in the face of our own embodied realization of the fundamental oneness of all existence, the barriers of fear, judgment, and mistrust that have long divided us begin to crumble, replaced by a profound sense of kinship, understanding, and mutual respect. And make no mistake, the journey to this level of transcendence is not an easy one. It requires a willingness to confront the deepest, most entrenched patterns of our conditioning, to let go of the very identities and narratives that have long defined us. It demands a level of courage, vulnerability, and commitment that can be truly daunting, particularly in a world that so often valorizes the ego and its endless pursuit of validation, security, and control. Unleashing the power of conscious co-creation, manifesting a luminous future. As we stand on the precipice of a profound paradigm-shifting transformation, it is vital that we not only internalize the profound truth of our own inherent wholeness and interconnectedness, but that we also harness the immense power of conscious co-creation to manifest a future aligned with the luminous essence of our shared being. For too long, we have allowed ourselves to be captives of a worldview that has valued competition over collaboration, scarcity over abundance, and the fleeting trappings of the ego over the transcendent, boundless nature of our true selves. This myopic perspective has not only fueled endless cycles of conflict, inequality, and environmental devastation, but it has also robbed us of the deep sense of purpose, meaning, and collective empowerment that is our birthright as conscious, creative beings. But now, as the veil of illusion is lifted, and we come to fully embody the understanding that we are not separate, isolated individuals, but rather intrinsically interconnected expressions of the same universal life force, we are presented with an unprecedented opportunity to reshape the very contours of our shared reality. Imagine, for a moment, a world in which our every thought, word, and action was imbued with the awareness of our profound kinship with all of existence. A world in which we approached each challenge, each relationship, each creative endeavor, with the profound understanding that we are not merely separate actors, but rather co-creators, weaving the tapestry of our collective destiny with every fiber of our being. This is the transformative power of conscious co-creation, the recognition that the future we manifest is not the product of some distant, abstract forces, but rather the direct result of the choices, values, and creative energies that we pour into the present moment. It is the understanding that we are not mere passive observers, but rather the architects of a new, luminous world, one that is aligned with the deepest, most expansive expressions of our shared humanity. And make no mistake, this is no mere idealistic fantasy. For as we have seen, the very foundations of our current reality, the systems, structures, and paradigms that have long shaped the trajectory of human civilization, are crumbling before our eyes, swept away by the tides of unprecedented social, technological, and environmental upheaval. In this moment of profound transformation, we are called to step forward with courage, clarity, and a deep sense of purpose to become the conscious, co-creative forces that will shape the contours of the emerging world. This is not a task that any one of us can accomplish alone, but rather a collective endeavor that demands our utmost commitment, collaboration, and synergistic action. Yet, as we engage in this work, it is essential that we remain vigilant, that we do not become ensnared by the very patterns of reactivity, fear, and scarcity that have long defined the old order. For it is all too easy in the face of such sweeping change to revert to the familiar, well-trodden paths of competition, control, and the endless pursuit of individual gain. Instead, we must cultivate an unwavering commitment to the principles of cooperation, compassion, and the recognition of our fundamental interdependence. We must become adept at holding space for diverse perspectives, honoring the unique gifts and contributions of all, and weaving the tapestry of our collective vision with the utmost care and reverence. And as we do so, we will find that the very act of conscious co-creation becomes a transformative spiritual practice in its own right, a means of aligning our individual and collective energies with the luminous, life-affirming current that flows through the heart of the universe itself. For when we approach the work of manifesting a new, more harmonious world with this level of mindfulness, presence, and creative engagement, we unlock access to a wellspring of inspiration, intuition, and synchronistic support that extends far beyond the limitations of our individual minds. We become like conduits for the unfolding of a divine, cosmically orchestrated plan, channeling the creative impulses of the universe itself in service of the greater good. And in doing so, we not only transform the external world, but we also undergo a profound inner transformation ourselves. As we immerse ourselves in the creative flow of conscious co-creation, we shed the old, limiting identities and narratives that have long constrained us, and we emerge as radiant, empowered beings, fully alive to the boundless possibilities that lie before us. This is the true power of conscious co-creation, the ability to harness the collective genius, creativity, and spiritual awakening of humanity in service of a future that is aligned with the deepest, most luminous expressions of our shared essence. It is the recognition that we are not mere passive observers, but rather active, conscious participants in the unfolding of a cosmic drama that transcends the confines of our individual lives. So I invite you, with every fiber of my being, to join me in this profound transformative work, to become a living embodiment of the principles of conscious co-creation, and to pour your heart, your passion, and your boundless creative energies into the manifestation of a world that reflects the true beauty, wonder, and interconnectedness of all that is. For in doing so, we will not only transform the external landscape of our shared reality, but we will also undergo a profound inner alchemy, emerging as radiant, empowered beings who have reclaimed the fullest expression of our authentic selves. And in that realization, we will discover the true keys to unlocking a future of unimaginable beauty, harmony, and collective thriving. A future that honors the sacredness of all life and that celebrates the limitless potential of the human spirit.